My name is Anthony Anderson. I'm an assistant women's basketball coach at the University of Houston. 3 things that every parent must know about the recruiting process. The very first thing is pick the right fit for your child. Every school has their ups, every school has their downs, but make sure you pick the right school that you could see your child at. The second thing is do your research. Like I said before, every school has the walls, every school has the facilities, but just making sure that you do your proper research on what school your child is going to play for. And third thing is make sure you know who the head coach is. I think that's the biggest battle that a lot of parents don't do. They go to schools for assistance. No, you got to choose the head coach. Make sure you have a relationship with the head coach.
First of all, these kids are getting paid. Coaches, y'all trying to find players. I might have some eligibility left. Somebody said I was the best shooter in Texas. So if y'all need a shooter, y'all know where to find me.
These kids going to get bust down rollies, coach. They ain't worried about the rest of that. Because a lot of these kids, they live in a lifestyle of a millionaire. Do you fit or will you be in the portal again next year? It's not me just calling you because you're the best available.
Yeah.
It's do you fit our style of play at Houston?
Yeah.
I must say something that's unpopular with coaches. If you love the game enough to want to go somewhere to play and be successful, you'll get in the portal. But I gotta say it, we can't put you in there anyway. I made a living off of Juco kids. Please, let's not talk about that. I look young now, but I'm about to start getting gray hair talking about that. It's no loose ball that ain't a Juco player on the floor
Facts.
for.
The portal has affected just those Cinderella stories. Like, it's almost what you predict is, for the most part, what it's gonna be.
I think a lot of kids get it confused when they come out of high school. They
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to do this. You really don't. You just got to shine wherever you at.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in Juco, be the #1 Juco player in the world. Rim run as hard as you can every possession. Because if you can give me 2 solid minutes of that and rebounding your butt off, you end the game with 8 points, 10 rebounds. That's 8 points, 10 rebounds that I could check off consistently every night.
Yeah.
And there's value in that.
Welcome to It's Just Different Podcast. We bring on people who have been where you're trying to go and or have helped countless athletes get there. I'm your host, Ashley Roberts, your favorite coach who don't coach teams. I just coach the parents and bring on people to give y'all information. And we got Houston in the building. Do you go, like, so do I call you Ant? Do I call you Anthony? Do I call you Coach Anderson? What do I call you?
Coach Anderson's my daddy, but you definitely can call me Anthony.
What do the players call you?
They call me Coach Anthony.
So you like to go by your first name?
Yeah, it's a story behind that, but it's the reason why I switched to the women's side to rebrand myself.
Can you tell us the story?
Oh, yeah, I'll make it quick. I started off on the boys' side at Paul Quinn College, and yeah, when I got the job there, it was just one of those things where it was like Coach Junior, Coach Junior, Coach Junior. So everybody called me Junior, especially here in the city of Dallas.
Yeah.
And so when I was on the boys' side, I was just Junior. So I decided I wanted to switch up.
Yeah.
I got an opportunity to come to the women's side and just wanted to rebrand myself. And I told my pops, I said, one day, somebody gonna call you asking you for me. That's my goal. Took 2 years. After 2 years, they were calling him talking about, hey, can you hit up Junior? I'm sorry, Coach Anthony.
Yeah.
I definitely would like to talk to him. So it took 2 years, but I earned my stripes.
That's dope. I love it. You started on the women's side. Where'd you start?
So I started on the boys' side.
I mean, when you switched over to the women's side,
When
my bad.
I
Where'd you-
switched over to the women's side, I was at the University of Texas, Rio Grande Valley. I stayed there for 5 years under a coach named Larry Tidwell.
I did not know he was at UTRGV.
He was at UTRGV.
Dang, that was like UTRGV. That was.
Yeah, it was Pan Am first. I was there the last year of Pan Am, and then it switched over to UTRGV.
Wow. And currently at Houston. Shout out to you. Congratulations. Again, I feel like I done told you congratulations like 3 times, but.
I appreciate it. The journey's been a journey, and you got to enjoy the climb.
Yeah, I feel it. We start this podcast off with what's different. I don't know what I thought was down there, but anyways. Well, I feel like the game is different. This is what it was. So I be doing this like a lot, and I feel like I just be pulling out hair. I'm like, this little piece of hair. I was like, wait, what is that? Anyways, I feel like the game is different, whether good or bad. What do you think is different now as it relates to recruitment now versus back then?
Oh, Lord.
And back then can be like 2-3 years ago.
I mean, it's different from last year. Just
Yeah.
the money side of the game is what makes the game different right now in the recruiting piece. Because as a coach, you got to evaluate, does a kid really want to be there, or is it more money driven?
Right.
So I think that's the biggest thing as we go through this process is trying to find the right fit as coaches as well as players trying to find the right fit with us and being able to balance the financial piece with it all as well.
Yeah. How are y'all managing the NIL space?
I mean, I shout out to Matthew Mitchell because he's been doing a great job of fundraising.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna say that,
Yeah.
but no, we just kind of really just trying to get the best kids for us.
Right.
We're not trying to run a different race. We're trying to run the race we want to run. So our biggest thing is going to get kids that are exact fit in what we try to do, and then we kind of from there we kind of negotiate. I feel
Yeah.
like a Fortune 500 company right now the way we're doing all this bargaining, but
Man, like, first of all, these kids are getting paid. Like,
yes.
I'm just, if there are any, I feel like all the coaches, y'all trying to find players, I might have some eligibility left. Somebody said I was the best shooter in Texas. So if y'all need a shooter, y'all know where to find me. I might have 1 year. Y'all looking for a shooter?
Man, I'm always looking for shooters. You can never not find a shooter. Like
Can I go dig up some eligibility
you
somewhere?
might be able to, honestly.
Congratulations on taking the first step, and that's watching this episode. But you need something more. You really need a community of parents that's going through the same thing, that can talk, laugh, share struggles, share wins. You need a community that's going to give you monthly resource drops on how to create a highlight tape, what to send to college coaches, and a community that's going to bring in guests, bring in college coaches, bring in experts to give you information. I got the community for you. The different community, and you need to be there. Click the link in this description, and I'll see you on the inside.
At this point, like, the money is going crazy.
Yeah, but I have the sad thing is it's about to balance out.
Yeah,
It's-
so I keep hearing that. What? Explain.
I mean the biggest thing is this revenue share clause that's getting ready to come through. If it passes the way it's supposed to pass, it's going to balance everything out to where now people are actually recruiting. It's no longer just a money grab, and it's no longer just coaches just throwing out money offers to different kids.
Yeah.
So it'll all balance out, and I think that's going to be the biggest thing is because it's going to bounce everything back to relationships.
Right.
And for me, I'm a big relationships person. I hate like playing a negotiation battle, and then I don't really know the caliber of kid that I'm getting.
Right.
So that's what I'm ready for. I'm ready for the relationships to come back in the fold, and I'm ready to be able to just, have conversations with kids, parents, and AAU coaches and high school coaches again.
Yeah. So you said that word revenue share.
hmm
I mean, these people don't know what we talking about. So explain what the revenue share is.
Well, I mean, first of all, let's backtrack because
Yeah.
people don't even know the difference between NIL, rev share, and
Collective. Yeah, it's facts.
Collective is a group of boosters, donors at the school that put money into a pot to give to kids. NIL is your name, image, and likeness from Fortune 500 companies. So like your Nikes, your Adidas, your Jordans, your grocery stores, those people can come in and basically pay you money for your image. And then you have rev share, which is $22 million to be given to each institution that all pay into the collective lawsuit that's going on. So not every school is going to have the ability to get rev share because not every school is going to pay into that pool of money to help pay off that lawsuit.
Right.
So those schools that do, which is your powers, and a couple of other schools that are not your power fours, will pay in, and they'll be able to have access to that $22 million.
So for the college's standpoint, the revenue share is better. For the player standpoint, so basically, when the revenue share kicks in, they won't be able to get collective, or
They're trying to do away with the collective side of things, is what I'm being told. It's just too much ups and downs with it. So they're trying to do away with it. That's what I was being informed.
yeah.
But for the players' perspective, of course, collective is where you want to go. Because that's why you have these kids making all of this bulk money up front right now. And being
That's from the
offered,
collective.
Oh, that's straight 100% from collective.
And are they getting these checks like ASAP? Like,
It depends.
Yeah.
Some schools are front loading it, some aren't. So some schools are June 15th, June 30th, you getting cut that check. Them 2 checks with all that money.
and I'm gonna call you Aunt.
Yeah, that's
just
fine.
letting you know. How do you like? And I'm all for these kids getting
Yes.
paid. Like, I'm all for it. You get paid. Hey,
Yes.
whatever. But do you not feel like that's like long term? Like, I don't want to say hurting, but like, I mean, getting so much money up front.
The thing is a lot of these kids don't understand when they're giving you this money up front that you have to pay Uncle Sam.
That's what
So we're
man.
not, they're not getting proper financial advice. Some of these kids are not getting financial literacy. And
Mm-hmm.
I think financial literacy is key in everything that you're doing with these kids because a lot of these kids, they live in a lifestyle of a millionaire. Think about it.
Facts.
They're not having to pay
Because they
for,
do think they
yeah.
think they got it.
Well, these kids going to get bust down rollies, coach. They ain't worried about the rest of that. But
No.
when they get done with college and the real world hits, I think not a lot of institutions do a good enough job of setting them up with financial literacy
Mm-hmm.
to show them how to balance and how to budget their money. That way, it's long lasting. Um, I do think a couple of AAU coaches, I can't say their names, are trying to do a good job in helping inform these kids because I
Yeah.
had a coach literally tell me, Aunt, bro, I just need this, this, and this because I'm trying to get this kid to invest in this duplex or this timeshare or this thing that they can't touch their money. I was like, oh, you're treating them like Allen Iverson. You can't
Yeah.
touch your money till you're 50.
Right.
So I think that's good as far as trying to put these kids in the right settings and the right mindsets. But these kids got to be careful because a lot of these kids are getting these fake agents or fake handlers that are worried about their cut and they're not trying to financially advise these kids properly either.
Yeah, and shout out to P Love. She was on one of my episodes. I feel like she's been having the transfer portal chronicles on social media.
Yes.
But she talked about that of like some of these agents, some of these agents not even knowing like they not knowing basketball. They
Mm-hmm.
don't even know the kid,
Mm-hmm.
and they call in schools trying to talk about money and demands when they don't even really know.
Well, the worst conversation as a coach is when you get, before I can even kind of talk to you or get to know you, the kid's telling you, well, call my representative first. And
Yeah.
then you can call me or call and talk to this person, and they'll set up a time for us to talk after y'all clear the money.
Dang, it's like that.
It was like that when the portal first jumped off and these kids were starting to make these demands and stuff. It was like that, but towards the end of the portal and the closing of it, then it started getting more reasonable. Then the
Hmm.
kids started understanding like it's not just about speaking to a representative because you do have a checklist you have to pass off as well.
Hmm.
So everybody's offering you money, okay, cool, but do you fit or will you be in the portal again next year?
You're right.
And so that's what we've done a good job at Houston is balancing the need, the fit, and the money. Do you fit our pace? Can you play our style?
Hmm.
That's why we're calling you. Okay, now let's negotiate from there. But it's not me just calling you because you're the best available.
Yeah.
It's do you fit our style of play at Houston?
Yeah. Now I promise y'all, we're not just gonna talk about the portal and NIL this whole time. I promise. But I'm intrigued. So the portal is closed.
Mm-hmm.
What does that mean? Does that truly mean that nobody can get in the portal?
Yes.
Um, that's what that means. So if a
Yes.
kid wanted to get in the portal today, now that it's closed, they
You
can't
can't.
get in.
Mm-mm. You're locked in.
And a coach can't put you.
Mm-mm. And I must say something that's unpopular with coaches, but I gotta say it. We can't put you in there anyway. The only way
What do you mean?
we can't put a kid in the
I
portal.
mean, you can't physically, but you can. Hey, I think it's best.
Yeah, but if a kid say I don't want to leave, you can't. You
Mm,
can't make them go.
yeah,
You can't. A lot of coaches don't say that. That's the unspoken word. But yeah, I can't just force a kid to leave.
yeah. You can just kind of advise, but
I
it's
can
up to them.
advise. Yeah, I can show you the writing on where you won't play or where this person is coming in is better than you at your position.
Hmm.
But I mean, at the end of the day, it's still up to you
Yeah,
and how much you love the game. If you love the game enough to want to go somewhere to play and be successful, you'll get in the portal. If you don't love the game enough to want to play and be successful, then
you
you'll
just
just stay.
stay. It's a great take. With the transfer portal, how much of it is affecting high school athletes?
100% of it is
Yeah.
because for me, I gotta know. Usually, I go high school first because I need those fits and those feels. It's a little different this year because I'm at Houston, brand new staff, brand new everything. So we got the job 3 days into the portal.
Mm.
So for us, it's straight portal. We had 10 kids assigned.
10?
10.
I know the business has been going crazy.
Oh, man, let's not even talk about that. Please, let's not talk about that. I look young now,
Wow.
but I'm about to start getting gray hair talking about that.
Wow.
But yeah, so usually it's high school first. As we're going to these tournaments, you want to go get those filler pieces, those core players that you want to have for the next couple years. And then from there, it's okay. Let's look at the JUCO route. Let's see what JUCO kids fit, because I'm a huge JUCO person. If you check my resume, you check my background, I made a living off of JUCO kids.
Yeah.
Like, I just believe in them because they're hungry. They always fighting. It's no loose ball that ain't a JUCO player ain't on the floor
Facts.
for. They're not cool. They got to grind. So that's why I usually check off JUCO second, and then third is your specialist. A lot of people don't know the portal started off as you go get these kids from the portal that are specialists. I didn't get this in high school, or I need a center with experience. I hit the portal. I need a stud that's a scorer. I hit the portal. That's what I go get that kid for.
Right.
And everybody needs a PG.
Yeah.
Everybody. So if you need a true PG that can facilitate, I hit the portal. I got to find a specialist. That's what the portal was intended for. Now we're trying to fill roster slots and trying to fill spaces. That's kind of what it is now, because the game is musical chairs right now.
Right. Now, you said what it was at first was high school first. Not now.
It's kind of tough because you're getting all these extra years with kids. You get
Yeah.
4th year, 5th year, COVID year. So it's kind of hard because it's pushing the high school slot down just a little bit. But I don't want the high school kids to fear that, though.
Right.
Because y'all are valued, y'all are important, but the problem is if you're coming in and the key is development, you can't dip after the first year because you don't play as much as you want to. So then you're getting in the carousel because you're not buying into the vision of what you bought in when you went to that school. Because there's a lot of kids that year number 1, they aren't who they're supposed to be. But year number 2, year number 3, after playing behind whatever kid had experience, that kid blossoms year number 2. That kid's the stud. Year number 3, that kid's an all-conference player. Year number 4, that kid is hanging their jersey from the Raptors and breaking school records. I think that the portal has went away from kids breaking school records now.
Yes.
So all the OGs, hey, y'all safe for a little
Right,
while.
because ain't
nobody breaking no records.
Because they're not going to be there long enough.
No, they ain't going to be there long enough to break no records. OGs, they going to break the year record. After that, OGs, they done. They attention span ain't long enough for that.
You know what? That is a great point. Like, you lose that. I'm not going to say nobody, but not too many athletes are staying at a school for 4 years.
No. Usually, and it's hard for them to, because, I mean, I hate to say money is the root of all evil, but I mean,
it is.
It is, but you got to have money to survive too. But you know, you get your Diddy dance on when it comes to the money. You know what I'm saying? But no, it's one of those things that it's hard to pass up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, that's the stage of the game we're in. But it'll balance out soon.
Yeah. I also feel like the portal has affected just those Cinderella stories. Like, it's not too many of the Cinderellas. Like, when you think of postseason, when you think of all of that, it's almost what you predict is, for the most part, what it's going to be.
I mean, the tops are the tops. The
Yeah.
haves are the haves. And it is some Cinderella stories that get out there that you see in the NCAA tournament that upset like some of these other teams. Just because, I mean, these teams are just well coached, and the kids they just buy in.
Yeah.
And they don't see a jersey. They don't see a jersey or a name. They just out there just hooping.
That's a fact.
But the long-term Cinderella stories, yes.
Yeah.
And the reason why is because Cinderella story happens year number 1. All those kids are sophomores and juniors, and that same team that they played against in the NCAA tournament
is going to get them.
Is going to call them.
Like, the team is gone at this point.
Either that, or as soon as they hit the portal, Anthony will be calling.
If they don't get you, I will get you.
I'm definitely going to get
that's
you.
That's a fact. I do. That's funny. I do feel like to me, that's the new. And I'm a JUCO product. Like, I coaches for sure recruit JUCO players, but that's almost like the new JUCO, like the mid majors, the low majors. Like,
hey, you go mid major, you go low major. there's even some D2s that are killing. I know a coach that picked up the number one D2 player in the
I seen
country.
that.
So like, I think a lot of kids get it confused when they come out of high school. They
Yeah.
like, oh, I got to do this. Well, you really don't. You just got to shine wherever you at.
Yeah.
If you're gonna be in JUCO, be the number one JUCO player in the world.
Yeah.
Like, be the number one scorer. Have the best 3-point percentage from shooting from three. Like, be the number one rebounder. Like, kids don't understand. It's value in being a rebounder.
Yeah.
It's value in being a rim runner. Like, coaches is
What? You
giving
mean-
money
wait,
for just doing
what?
that. Like,
They
you
don't
ain't
have
got-
to be versatile. They don't have to
What?
be a point forward.
No. I just need you to rebound. I need you to rim run as hard as you can to wear out the other post player on the other team. And I need you to be able to make a layup. That's it. Like, if you can knock down this 15-footer, perfect. I can do a lot with you. But let's start with the basics. Rim run as hard as you can every possession. Because if you can give me 2 solid minutes of that and rebounding your butt off, you ended the game with 8 points, 10 rebounds. That's 8 points, 10 rebounds that I can check off consistently every night.
Yeah.
And there's value in that. Because my previous school, we loved rebounding. Like, we thrived on that. So that's why I tell people, just be the best you can be. You can control your attitude, you control your energy, and you control your effort. If you bring those 3 things every day, somebody will find you. There's value for you somewhere.
Yeah, and you just said something earlier that I want to go a little bit deep into. You talked about D2. I want to talk about the difference between D2 and JUCO. I think that a lot of parents are always, when they're trying to figure it out, like, okay, I got D2 offers, I got JUCO offers. Which one should I choose? What's your take?
The best one for you. It's the best fit. Like, I'm going to go watch you if you're at a JUCO. I can't necessarily go watch you if you're at a D2. I got to wait on you to hit the portal.
I'm so,
So-
glad you said that. I thought you was gonna say I can go watch you at D2, and I was gonna stop you. I was
No,
gonna
I
say
can't.
that you are not being honest.
No, I can't go watch you at a D2. I can follow your stats, or
Yeah.
I can when you get in the portal, but I'm going to be honest with you, just straight up. Right now at the level that I'm at, I kind of skip over the D2 portion of the portal just because I have a need right now. I need
Yeah.
experience. I need a kid that has shown that they could do it at the level.
Yeah.
So that's the only reason why I kind of skip over the D2 portion of the portal, unless it's stats that are glaring at you.
I
like
was just gonna say
26 points
facts.
a game.
Like that is the difference. Like whenever I'm talking to parents,
Mhm.
and I always say this: if y'all watch, y'all know I'm gonna say it every time. It's D free,
It is.
you know, or close to it. Some people can't get D free, but if that's the goal, like it's D
Yeah.
free, whether that's D2 or JUCO. But I think that you have to know what you want.
Yes.
If your goal is D1,
Mm-hmm.
you have a higher chance at going JUCO versus D2, because I think at the D2
Mm-hmm.
you have to put up crazy. Like you
Yes.
the numbers gotta be numbering. You have to put up numbers.
That's true.
But at the JUCO, I don't think that you don't D2 you gotta be putting up
It's a
the 20s, and JUCO you don't have to do that,
No.
right? I think that's the big difference.
I mean, I think it all goes down to 2 things, the style and the fit.
Yeah.
So, like, I know we're up and down team, or a tempo team. So as I'm looking at that, if you're in the portal and you're in a D2, I'm gonna look at, do you play with pace? Does your team play with pace?
Yeah.
But JUCO wise, I know,
Yeah.
because like I said, I have roots in JUCO.
Yeah, and you get to actually, I think the biggest difference is you get to actually go to those
I do.
games.
I
Like,
do.
so you get to actually go see and lay eyes.
And I get to talk to the coach,
You get to
because
do all
the
of
coach
that.
is my boy, my homegirl.
Yeah.
I mean, like I said, my whole career, I thrived on JUCO kids, especially being in the Rio Grande Valley. That's all I was JUCO U.
Yeah.
And so, like, that's why I said, like, those coaches, those relationships, a lot of parents overlook that when those JUCO coaches are the main ones calling us Division I coaches. Hey, it's pro day. Hey, I got this kid. Hey, I
Yep.
got this kid. Or, hey, my kid's transferring. Like, we're getting these calls like, hey, my kid's in the portal, and I need you to take a look at my kid. Okay, cool. But I'm not taking those calls from people I don't know.
Yeah.
And it's all about relationships. JUCOs are going to have better relationships with D1s or D2s because that's what they do.
Right.
They're a stepping stone for the next level.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're at a D2, that's not necessarily a stepping stone.
For
And
sure.
I was a JUCO product myself, so
Same. What Juco you go to?
Man, I actually went to Juco out here. I went to Cedar Valley.
Ah, I did not know that.
Yes.
I went to South Plains.
Okay,
So
okay.
definitely a JUCO product. So
Definitely Juco
I
products.
feel that. Um, when you're out recruiting kids, what are you looking for?
I'm looking for that pace and that dog energy, and also the need. Like, I gotta have shooters. We're rebuilding and revamping
Mm-hmm.
our recruiting tools. So we're at ground zero right now.
Yeah.
So now I'm out here. I'm looking at the 27s, the 28s, the 29s, the 30s.
So you're looking young.
I got to look young because half of the older ones are already taken. They already got their list, which they list ain't really their list because that
Facts.
list changes. So I mean, with those 26s, if I already had a prior relationship, of course I'm gonna shoot my shot.
Yeah.
But for the rest of that, I'm looking young because you got to build those relationships young.
Yeah.
And I didn't realize when I was a mid-major coach, I always like, man, I could be a Power Five assistant. All it is hard work. I didn't realize these Power Five assistant coaches have had relationships with these kids for 3, sometimes 4 years.
Mm-hmm.
They've been talking to these kids for 4 years, 3 years, and I'm overzealous, like, man, I could do what they do.
Yeah.
No, these coaches are making long-term relationships, and I'm just trying to get in the back end and build those relationships.
That's true. Relationships matter.
They do.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Yeah.
Man, that money be talking.
Well, facts. I think when I say I'm saying at an early age, but yeah, right now, at the end of the day, I hate to say it, but the relationships are pretty much there is a small percentage, but for the most part, the relationships are gone. Who's giving me the bag? Who's giving me the most money? Who like?
Well, but I'm gonna keep it. I'm gonna play devil's advocate. That is true. That's the true theory for right now.
Yeah.
But you know how many kids I got from the bounce back?
I like it.
I love a good bounce back kid.
Yeah.
Go get your money first. Go on your get your money tour. That's what I call
Yeah.
it. Go get your money tour first.
Ooh, go get your money tour.
And then come back to me next because I'm gonna take care of you. You're gonna come home to me.
Yeah.
Because the relationship we're gonna build and we're gonna cultivate is gonna outlast the here and now.
Yeah.
So hit the get your money tour.
Yeah.
And come holler at me.
I like that. Cause they
They getting their money. I had one of my kids was like, Coach, I got to get that money. And I was like, I ain't even mad at you. Go get it. But then once you get that paper and it don't work out, the fit ain't fitting, come home.
Yeah. What's my question? What conversations are you having with, and I'm going current, like how you just said, one of your players is like, hey, I got to go, whatever. So current roster kids and then kids that you're recruiting that's like, this school is giving me this or whatever. Like, obviously, we in this climate of that, but like, what relationships from an advice standpoint are y'all having?
I mean, our biggest thing is we want to show support from us.
Yeah.
We want to show consistency from us. And I'm not a big ship jumper. I like to stay where I'm at. I like to stay grounded where my feet are. So I think the biggest thing is showing consistency with your staff, first and foremost. Once you show consistency with your staff, then you can show consistency with your players. So when you ain't got staff members that are constantly jumping from place to place to place, then it shows you're able to build long-lasting relationships with your kids that you currently have because it's consistency. And then from there, you're just trying to cultivate those relationships and making sure that those needs every day are met.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, like, I'm a fresh newborn parent. Like, I have a 6-month-old.
Aww.
And so, yeah, he's a handsome little man. But the biggest thing that I want is when I give my child to somebody else, I know my child is taken care of.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the biggest thing is just making sure the parents know that at the end of the day, their child is taken care of, making sure the kids know at the end of the day they're taken care of.
Yeah.
Like, the rest of what you're looking for sometimes are just wants.
Yeah.
They're not needs because all your basic needs are being fulfilled right here.
Yeah.
And so reminding people to be grateful, that's what Coach Matthew Mitchell say every day. Just, we're going to be grateful. And so just reminding myself to be grateful and reminding them, our kids, to be grateful as well for the opportunities that we have. Now, the new players that we're going after, I mean, it's just about having a conversation about where they fit and what their need is and how valuable they are to us. And my biggest thing is just trying to take care of home. I want to keep Texas kids in Texas. I want to keep Houston kids in Houston because I do think that that's what happens. Our Texas kids leave.
Yeah.
And then they get homesick.
And then
they come back. And so now this is just making sure we show our Texas kids they don't have a reason to leave. Let's talk about it.
Yeah.
You got SEC, ACC, Big 12. You got CUSA.
Yeah.
You got the Southland. You got the American. What are you searching for? Those are the
Yeah.
best conferences in the country.
Right.
The only thing we're missing is the 10. So other than that, you got everything you need here at home. Why go shopping somewhere else?
Yeah.
All right. You are about halfway through this episode. Hold on. Let me get a little closer. I need you to do me a favor. I need you to hit the subscribe button. And while you at it, hit the like button. I know I'm asking for a lot. Go ahead and share this with 2 other parents that need to hear this information. Because I'm here to help y'all, and I need y'all to help me so that I can get this information out to more people. Now back to the episode.
The 24 class had, don't quote me on this.
Mhm.
I'm a little tired right now. But but they had a lot of kids,
Mhm.
high ranked kids, I'll
They
just say
did.
that,
They did.
that I don't feel like was being recruited by
In Texas.
Texas
Mhm.
schools.
Because a lot of Texas schools, when we saw the list of some of these kids,
Mm-hmm.
we feared that we weren't going to be able to compete for those kids.
Okay.
Because, I mean, it was cool to leave that year.
Okay.
It
I
was
feel it.
cool to leave Texas that year.
Yeah.
And so, being where I was previous to here, it was always viewed as, oh, well, we have this option, and then if this don't work, then we'll come to y'all.
Makes sense.
Well, why do I want to be number 2? Why
Yeah.
I can't be your first choice? I don't want to be the side girlfriend. I
Yeah.
want to be the main.
Yeah.
I don't want to be the if it don't work out.
Yeah.
Y'all get
Then
mad
I'm gonna
at-
come back to
Yeah,
you.
y'all don't want us being like, I got this option over here, but
Yeah.
if she don't commit to us, then I'm gonna come back to you.
But let me flip it. Let me flip
Yeah,
it.
go ahead.
Because it does work that way
It
on
does.
y'all side.
It does.
So why can't it work that way on the kid side?
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this. I go for who like me.
Yeah.
So if you commit before the other one commit that I like, then I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like if I'm calling you consistently and I'm building a relationship with you consistently, I'm talking to you, because if I'm really in deep with my kids, you talking to me 2-3 times a week.
Yeah.
Like we texting every other day. I'm talking to your mama and daddy. I'm talking to your AAU coach. I'm talking to your high school. You gonna get my
Yeah.
touch
Yeah.
throughout the week.
Yeah.
So if we talking consistently like that, that's how you know like it's a real relationship. It's a real want.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm touching base with you probably once a week, once every 2 weeks, if any coach is doing that, then they're trying to get a feel for where you fit for the need, and where you are on that totem pole.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of coaches that rotate that list. You might hear from a coach one time, and then you might not hear from a coach again for about another month. And I mean, it don't be that coach's fault. It just be you rotated on the list,
Yeah.
a call list.
That makes sense. And when you go to events, what immediately stands out to you, good and bad, when you watching kids?
Let's go with bad first. That's easy. Energy, like just watching them on the bench, their demeanor. Watching them on the floor, their demeanor. Like
Yeah.
the ball is on the floor, it's rolling on the floor. Like I had a dog mentality when I was in high school and college. Ball's on the floor, I'm on the floor. Like I'm taking charges, doing the little things. And so if I see a player that's too cool, it's like you can't play for my boss.
Yeah.
So I also know I have to have a good idea of who my boss is. And then good things is like just making sure they get touches, making sure they're vocal, making sure they're communicating, making sure that they're doing the right things, being the best version of them that they can be. Because half of these kids I'm going to see, I already didn't seen them many times.
Yeah.
So now I'm watching your habits now at this point. So like, what are some things that you're doing to make yourself stand out? Or like, if a kid is giving you the business and I'm not even recruiting that kid, I'm like, wait a minute.
Who is that?
Exactly. I done wrote down a couple kids this week. This weekend alone, I was like, oh, is this a fluke? Let me go see you again. I got to double back and see you again.
I like that. Another way that kids can get recruited based off of who they playing.
But
That's why
show
matchups
out.
matter.
They always matter. And when you see your kid that you're recruiting shy away from that matchup, oh, I got to find out why you running. You don't
What
want the
is
smoke?
going on here?
Yeah, what you don't want the smoke now? You want to change out? Nah, ain't no switch.
Yeah.
Get on that island.
Ooh, I like it. I like it. Just like it's the transfer portal,
Yeah.
it's the AAU portal. The AAU portal be portaling. Like, what are your thoughts on kids switching team to team to team?
Oh man. Lord Jesus, that's just a loaded question. I don't even know what to say on that. Um, I'm just I'm a fan of if you leave because it's not the right fit. I'm not a fan of if you leave because your mom or your dad or you don't agree with what was said and accountability that's been had.
That's the one right there.
I
That's a good
mean,
answer.
I just don't like just running just to run. Like, okay, so you knew when you joined that team you were gonna be the ninth, 10th person. You knew what you were signing up for because a lot of the AAU coaches I know, they're real truthful. But I know some AAU coaches that be lying too.
Yeah.
But
it's another
no, I
story for another
mean,
day.
the biggest thing is I'm not against you leaving if it's for the right reasons. Same
Yeah.
with school. Like if it's not a good fit, it's just not a good fit. I saw a lot of kids this weekend and I was like, you just not a good fit for that team.
Yes.
So you probably need to change teams. But I'm not a fan of just jumping ship just because you're scared of the competition or you can't beat out the person in front of you.
Right.
Go work on your craft.
Yeah, that's a great point. I think that's really good for parents to hear because and parents and players because a lot of them feel like, oh, you know, if I leave, is that frowned upon? Or if I and you kind of answered it. It depends. Like, I think we're in a climate now, just like kids are leaving in college, right? You have to find the right fit.
You do.
But it's not because maybe one game you didn't play that much, because of whatever reason, or you didn't like what the coach did. Now you're like, oh, I'm gonna go to another team. Like it could be just that. Like, and sometimes it's best to
Well,
leave.
let's also put the other side of that sword. Sometimes if you on your fourth team,
Yeah,
it's you.
it's you. The
It's
problem
not.
is you.
It's
Hold on,
not
let me
the
look at that
team.
camera. The
It's you.
problem is you.
Yes.
It's not the coach. It's not the players. It's not the team.
It's you.
Baby, it's you. Like,
But it's so many people that are scared to have that reality check and accountability. Um, I'm 36. Having accountability talks with myself is a daily must for me
yeah.
because I got to hold myself to accountability standard. But right now, I feel like we're running from accountability.
Yeah. Tell me up. 36.
36.
You 4 years from 40.
I am. Big dog.
You looking good over there.
Trying to.
36. That's dope. I ain't gonna tell y'all how old I am. Put in the comments how old you think I am. And Spidey just hurt my feelings back there, but we gonna keep going.
We gonna keep going.
But yes, for sure. Like you have to find the right fit, and sometimes it's hard, right?
Yes.
It is very hard, and I feel like that's why I do what I do, like to give as much information. And actually, we were having a conversation off camera, me, you, and another college coach, just about like there's not one way, right? It's multiple ways, but I think that's why your circle got to be tight, and
is.
you have to find someone that know what they talking about and listen to them.
Yes.
Because if you got 4 or 5 people telling you stuff, and I might be saying one thing, and you might be saying another thing, and this person saying another thing, and a parent that don't know what's going on, that ain't all types of confused.
I think the biggest thing is information.
Yeah.
Proper information, being
sure.
guided by the proper people. Like I wouldn't, if I'm trying to be a financial agent, I wouldn't go get advice from somebody who didn't graduate in a financial field. So if I'm trying to get advice about collegiate athletics, I wouldn't go get advice from somebody who, one, isn't a part of collegiate athletics, or two, never played collegiate athletics, because they might not understand properly how that field works. So it's all about making sure you're getting advised by the right people and listening to the right people and not having too many voices, because sometimes too many voices clouds judgment.
For sure.
And so when you're already unknowledgeable and you're insecure with the question or the solution that you're trying to come up with, and you got a whole bunch of random people giving you advice that doesn't mesh,
Yeah.
then you're gonna make an informed decision every time.
Yeah. And That's why I have the different community. I have a community for parents specifically for this reason, saving you time, money, stress, help you make decisions. Listen, the parents ask me question after question, literally, should I go to this camp? Should I do this? And y'all need to be in the community. So hit the link in the description and get in the community. I'm just saying. But the right information matters,
It does.
right? Like, I do feel like that you can get information overload. But again, it's what you said when you listening to so many people, or when you're trying to do it by yourself and you have no idea, you never played, you've never been through this process, you don't know what's going on, but you're trying to figure it out by yourself. I don't understand that.
Oh, people like that, I just don't understand because there's resources out here. Like, if you ask the right questions from the right people, you 9 times out of 10 you'll get the right answer. Or if you just trust in the right people, like people like yourself, have a good AAU program you play for. Like just being able to be a part of a program that's actually successful. I've had people call me randomly, "Hey Anthony, I got your number from such and such. Do you got 5 minutes?" Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
Like, what do you need? Like, I got in this game to help give people opportunity. That's the whole reason why I started doing what I do. And so to see people, one, shunning from people that are helping, trying to help give people information, or two, seeing people give people bad information, that makes my skin curl.
Yeah.
'Cause I'm like, why would you tell them that?
Yeah.
Give them proper advice. The proper advice I tell every one of my kids, especially my kids that have transferred, say no to the money. Figure out what your need is there, unless you just don't care about basketball. If you don't care about the playing, if you don't care about putting ball in hole and stepping foot on floor, go get your money.
Yeah.
But if you care about playing the game that you love, that you're passionate about, find out everything you need to find out first about the coach, about the playing style, about the system, about the environment. Because I know city kids that go into the middle of nowhere. You know you ain't gonna make it.
Right.
You know when they got one gas station
Yeah.
and no Walmart, you know you ain't gonna make it there being
Yeah.
from the city. So that's why I tell them you gotta find the right environments for you. And then the last and not least, I mean, people overlook this. Does the place have an airport near it?
Oh, because
Because you
you
got to
gonna
get
wanna
home.
come
You gonna want to
home.
go home.
Yeah.
And don't nobody want to drive 2 hours to get to no airport or go
Yeah.
to some small regional airport and you like them tickets are sky high. So
Yeah.
there go that little that
There
little
go
check
your
you got.
there go your NIL right there.
There go your
And plane
check
tickets.
and plane tickets home. Yeah.
That's a fact. And how do you determine, we have, I want to bring it back to grassroots. You got
Yes.
live period events and you got a bunch of them,
Yes.
in April and May and June, July,
Oh,
whatever. How do you determine which events you're going to go to?
the blessed part about it is I ain't got to do that anymore. That's already determined for me. Nah, but I think the biggest thing is where are the bulk of my recruits going to be?
Yeah.
And where are my top recruits at? Like I came out here to Dallas for basically to see about 3 kids. Spent a couple days here because I really needed those kids to see me, see us, see the brand, see the logo, know where I'm at now. But in the next section, it's going to be this list that we're compiling on Monday, making sure we touch bases or touch locations where the bulk of our recruits are. And I mean, kids don't understand. You got 5 minutes for me, because if I'm here, I honestly got to be somewhere else halfway through your game.
Right.
So you got 5 to 10 minutes to show me what you got. And I'm either going to circle you or I'm going to put an X by you or I'm going to put I need to see more.
Yeah.
And then I got to move on to another floor
Yeah.
to evaluate somebody else.
Yeah.
So kids got to understand every time you set foot on the floor, you got to maximize your opportunity.
Now, so many questions right now. So, okay. Now, like you just said, and we ain't gonna date this episode, but you go to an event, you came to an event, and you really only came to see 3 kids out of the thousands of kids that are here.
Yeah.
How do you place your eyes on new kids?
Well,
How do you determine which games to watch new kids?
Well, I mean, I'm kind of a gym rat. I love being in the gym.
Yeah.
So my first game might be at 1, but I might get there and I circle, okay, this team's from Texas. Or one of my friends might be here and he's sitting on the floor or she's sitting on the floor and be like, hey, I got this kid I just seen. Why don't you come take a look? Because I get to the gym at like 8 o'clock anyway.
Mm-hmm.
So I get there at 8, 9, and I'm just pretty much walking around just trying to see what I can see. I see a kid that looks like a good athlete. Let me go over there and see what that looks like.
Mm-hmm.
Or, hey, I know this coach that's playing over there. Let me go sit down because that's one of my boys. Let me come show love and support. And so showing love, showing support turns into, oh, let me sit down real quick. I
Yeah.
actually like this kid.
Hold on.
Like,
Who
let
on
me
this
find out a little
court?
bit more.
Yeah.
And what kids don't understand is coaches talk.
Mm-hmm.
If I tell you, like I said, I came to see a couple of kids, but kids don't know how many calls I've made to other coaches saying, hey, I seen this kid at this level that fits your school, that fits your playing style. You might want to put this kid on your list.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, I seen this kid that's an athlete. I know you said you need an athlete. Boom, add this kid to your list. And then I'm watching all these young babies. So I'm watching 27s, 28s, 29s, 30s. I even watched a 32. I was like, whew, I'm hoping I'm coaching still then by then.
Dang.
But you're watching these young kids because you want to see what they can do.
Yeah. And that's actually a good take because and I've said it. Like I've said it to people myself where it's like a lot of college coaches aren't watching young kids because they got to get what they need right now and they don't even know if they're going to be there 3, 4, 5 years ago,
Yes.
3, 4 to 5 years later. So it is good to hear that you saying, "Hey, I'm watching 29s and 30s." First of all, what is 2030?
I don't know. I think they're in middle school, man.
Seventh grade?
Yeah.
So
But there's some 7th graders playing
Hoopers.
16s. 15s.
Okay, so let me get there. So when you say you're watching 2030s, that's 7th
Yeah.
grade, 29s is 8th grade. When you're
Yes.
saying you're watching some of those 7th and 8th graders, you're watching them because they're playing up? Okay, now we're getting somewhere.
I'm watching because clearly, if you have the ability to play up, you have the ability to be above your class.
Yes.
And so because you're already showing that you're above your class, now I want to watch your development.
Mm-hmm.
So this year you might not have been able to go left. Okay,
Yeah.
next year can you go left better?
Mm-hmm.
This year you might struggle finishing. Next year you might be a better finisher.
Yeah.
So I'm always watching for the evolution of those kids, and you always want to keep an eye on those kids for the future because you never know what those kids blossom into.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to be behind on the next player X, Y, and Z because I didn't pay attention to them while they were young.
But they got to be playing up.
Yeah.
So let's talk about them playing up because everybody feel like,
Mhm.
oh, I need to play. I feel like there's two things. When you get in high school, freshman year, you're more than likely gonna be on
Yes.
varsity.
Yes.
Every parent feels like because they play varsity basketball, they should be playing 17s. They should be doing
No.
this. They should be playing up. Please talk about it.
No, just because you were a great varsity player at your high school does not mean that you're going to be a great starter on whatever AAU team. Everybody has a role. So because of that, a lot of parents get it confused. Just because you were the best at your school don't mean you're going to be the best on that AAU team.
Mm-hmm.
Just the same way as just because you were the best on your AAU team in your high school don't mean you're going to be the best on my college team.
Right.
So it's all about finding your niche and finding your role because clearly you were a specialist at something, and that's why I brought you in to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But it's making sure that I evolve you in other ways to help progress your game while you're with me. Same thing with AAU coaches, making sure that that young baby that they got, they're progressing that baby in ways that can help evolve their game to be able to fit where they're going next.
Yeah. I like it. What common mistakes do you feel like parents make throughout this recruitment process?
Not being informed is the number one. Not knowing enough about the school, not knowing enough about the head coach, not knowing enough about the program. I think a lot of parents just see logos, they see names, and they don't properly do the research. And a lot of kids just see teams on TV and they be like, oh, I want to go there. Well, why? What about that school other than they won however many games?
Mm-hmm.
What else do you know? And I think the lack of information is the biggest thing. So that's the number one thing. I think the number 2 thing is not knowing the right questions to ask in the recruiting process.
Yeah.
Not asking a simple question. I was so impressed with this kid. She gave me the 3rd degree, and I was like, oh, you want to know how do we see you in the system? You want to see how you want to know how you fit. You want to know what our coaching style is. You want to know what kind of environment we are, because every coach is going to say the same things pretty much. We're all going to say we're family.
Right.
We have a family environment,
Yeah.
but what I tell kids all the time is there's different type of families. There's single moms, single dad, 2 moms, 2 dads.
Yeah.
You got the traditional, and then you got grandma where grandma and nana raising them.
Yeah.
So that's why I tell kids all the time, like, if I tell you we're gonna be a family environment, it's your job to ask me, okay, coach, what kind of family? Does your family mirror my family?
Yeah. You talking. You talking today. Like, that's so true. And really what you giving me all the shameless, like, really not plugs, because I'm going to plug it anyway. But what you just described is my community. Like,
Yes.
that's the common mistakes, like uninformed, like not asking the right questions. Like, that's literally what I tell these parents. I'm literally giving them questions to ask. It's crazy. True story. Had a D1 coach text me from a parent that, like, she's getting recruited. Like, she had some interest, but she wanted to reach out to a school.
Yes.
So she hit me up. She's actually in the community. She hit me up and just wanted my advice. And I said, just send them an email. She's like,
Yes.
oh, they don't check emails. I said, this is how you need to send an email. This is what you need to put. This is what the subject line should be, so that they at least be like, oh, who is this? And I said, if they don't respond to the email, then shoot them a DM. Like, they can't. They're 27. Yeah. So, you know, you got to do a bunch of stuff. Do you know that coach, that D1 coach, texted me and said, basically, long story short, that she communicated, she liked the kids, she got the film, and she was like, I was on the phone with her. She connected through the AAU coach. It was like, I was on the phone with her, and I was impressed by her email, and her mom said, yeah, Ashley has a different community, and she told me how to write it. I'm like, look at that. Like,
Yes.
but seriously, though, y'all need to get in the community. But seriously, like, the information is key.
I'll tell you the craziest. You want to know something even crazier?
What?
This is how you plug not just emails on emails, who to email, who not to, who to DM, who not to. Age. What's the age of the coach that you're trying to get in contact with?
Yeah.
Because if you're dealing with a young coach, I'm not finna check all these emails.
It's right on social media.
You better hit my social.
Right on social media.
So you hit my DMs, you tag me in a social. Hey, these kids figuring it out. They starting to tag me in their game schedules to add it to my story. So I'm like, nah, I gotta see it.
Yeah.
So I'm like, that's that. But they're getting creative.
Yeah.
But if you're dealing with an old school coach, email is key.
And that's who that coach was. So that's the thing, knowing who
the age demographic.
it is.
That's what it is. And if you're dealing with a younger coach, which odds are 9 times out of 10, all younger coaches are always checking our phones, because we're always on social media, because it's the clout right now for the kids.
Yeah.
So DMing, direct messaging, the younger coaches, that's how you get them. That's how you get us.
Yeah.
You're going to get me every time. I'm going to open it up. If I can't respond back to you because you're younger, I'm at least going to see it.
Yeah.
But the older coaches, you got it. Yeah, you better email them, because they don't know how to work they direct messages and all that. They still trying to figure that out. No shade, but they can't figure it out.
Okay, parents. So what Aunt just said, that's at Houston, that I'm talking to these 20, what are we in right now, 26s? I'm talking to these 26s. What he just said is, go ahead and shoot him a DM, and he's going to get back to you. Your DM's about to be flooded.
Oh, man, don't do me like that.
So parents, if y'all, I'm putting him on the spot. If y'all need him to check out y'all kid, shoot him a DM. And if he don't respond, come back to this episode. Just be like, hey, he said he was gonna respond on the podcast.
I did. Hold me to it. But my thing is this: don't flood me though. I
Yeah.
mean, I'm only one person, and don't be hitting me up late. I got a kid. Let's not do that.
But send the DM. You're
Send
gonna
a DM.
respond.
I'm either gonna like it, I'm gonna heart it, I'm gonna respond to it some kind of way, or I'm gonna add your daughter to the list.
Okay.
So I might not, might not send you back a long story, a long drawn out response.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna acknowledge the fact that I got your DM, and then we can go from there on how to properly recruit your kid from there.
I love it. Well, what do you feel like is the biggest adjustment high school kids have to make? Or I don't even want to say adjustment. That's general.
Hmm.
But what do you think is the struggle? Like, what do they struggle with the most from high school to college?
Size and physicality.
Yeah.
It's simple. It's always been that way since the beginning of time.
Mm-hmm.
And getting used to a shot clock, that's why, thank God, they're putting shot clocks in the AAU right now.
Yeah.
Because being able to play with a pace and control the flow of game. Like, you got kids that are shooting the same shots they would shoot in the first
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes of the game, in the fourth quarter with 2 minutes a game, and it's 2 minutes, it's a 2-point game.
Right.
Like, you got to be able to know what shot's a good shot and know how to get to those shots.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it's game management, time management, and size and physicality.
What can these parents do, if anything, to help prepare their athletes?
Just get with a real trainer,
Yeah.
not a cone trainer, not a trainer that's got you doing your kid doing crazy stuff that they're never going to do at the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Get with a real trainer that understands the next level and some of the things that they're going to do, and also making sure your kids are lifting. Like, I'm not saying when they're super young they need to be lifting weights. They probably need to be doing bands and body weight stuff, but making sure that they're doing the proper things that they need to get their bodies bigger, stronger, faster.
So you don't believe in cones?
I believe in bodies.
Yeah.
Like, there's a time and a place for cones, especially if you're teaching the right techniques on how to use a cone, like proper foot placement, proper hip movement, and all the rest of that stuff. But I don't believe in just throw a cone out here, turn from here, jump stop over there. Like, I don't believe in all that.
Yeah.
I believe in, if you're going to use it with proper technique.
I feel it. I feel that. Man, we talked about a lot. We talked about a lot. Before we end, I'm always wanting to help these parents. What questions should these parents be asking coaches that are recruiting their athletes?
I think the biggest thing is, what do you guys need for that class? Like, what are the needs for my child's class? Does my kid fit y'all's system? What value is my kid going to be able to bring to the team? What is the plan? Like, can you show me your plan for my kid? And those are the biggest things that I think parents don't ask that they probably should ask.
Yeah.
So, but they got to join the community to get.
Listen, at this
to get
point, join a community. And it's a 2026. This is her last year.
Mm-hmm.
She's nervous.
Mm-hmm.
She's just like, I want my opportunity. I want my offer. And she a little uptight.
Mm-hmm.
Can you look in that camera and talk to that 2026?
Sometimes the best thing for you to do is just to take a deep breath and relax. Trust in your values, trust in what you've done, trust in your work. Everything that you've done to get yourself to this point, trust in it. Pray about it, take a deep breath, keep it rolling, because you've done the work to get here. Now it's time to show that work, and it's time to put your best foot forward. I was you. I had to take a deep breath, and I had to recenter myself in order to get myself where I need to go. And the best thing I'll tell you is, you've done the work. Trust the process. Trust in what you've done.
That gave me chills a little bit. That was good. That was real good.
I just had to have that conversation with my little cousin. She's not a 2026. She's a baby.
Yeah.
And she's playing up 2 levels, and she's wild and out of control. And I was like, why?
Yeah.
Take a deep breath. You've done this your whole life. We've prepared you for this. You've been playing against us as grown men.
Yeah.
No, not saying these are young girls, but these are young girls. You've been playing against grown men.
Yeah.
Trust in who you are. Trust in what you've done.
I feel it, man. We can't end this without you talking about Houston. You know, it's your turn to just tell the people anything you want them to know about Houston.
Man, my biggest thing is, this is a new year, new era, new decade of what we're trying to do. We do appreciate all the coaches that have come before us and everything that they've done to set the foundation and set the stage for where we are. But I work for a wonderful man named Matthew Mitchell, who is amazing. Great relationships, actually the winningest head coach in Kentucky history. And that's a fact. You can look that up. It's just his re-coming out party. And what we're trying to do is get the right kids that fit our style, our play, and we're trying to make the city of Houston happen again. The men's team has done a phenomenal job in branding and marketing and everything that they're doing as far as winning. Now it's our time. So there's no pressure, but it is pressure for us to put the city on our back. It's time to bring Houston back out and time to fill the stands up. We just want to put forth a product that everybody's happy to see, everybody wants to play a part of, and also make the game exciting.
We can't end it no better than that. I'm just saying. Y'all, if you enjoyed this episode, I need you to put your takeaways in the comment section. Let me know what your takeaways were. Subscribe to the channel so that more people can hear this. Like the page, follow on Apple, Spotify, and you already know what I'm going to say. If you're not following on Instagram, I don't know what you're doing. Follow the page. It's just different pod.
Thank you for tuning in to this episode and staying to the very last minute. For that, I got a gift for you. I don't know if you can actually see this because I got black on black, but I have merch, different merch. And you can get your different merch at itsjustdifferentapparel.com. Use code podcast to get 15% off. See you next week.